So I don't know if you caught Isiah Thomas. He was on NBA TV this week talking with Channing Frye and Lauren Jabra, and he has this quote. We're gonna put it on the screen. So Isaiah kind of took some shots at the Celtics. So I'm gonna read the full quote for people that are watching live on YouTube right now. And this is about the Detroit Pistons kind of finding their identity. He said they finally found their way back home to Pistons bad boy culture, defensive rebounding and playing physical. That's who Detroit is, and that's who the city likes to see. Hey, if you want to shoot 53s, go live in Boston. If you want defense, hard work, rebounding, championship pedigree, come to Detroit. So I felt like, there's some context to the situation. Obviously, there's this Celtics documentary going on right now on HBO. They asked Isaiah to be a part of it. He declined because it's the same people that produced The Last Dance, and I think it kind of
Mm.
brought up some, I don't know, maybe a little bit of anger because they kind of set him up on The Last Dance. But what do you kind of make of Isaiah kind of taking a little shots at Boston for shooting so many threes?
It is kind of nasty how they play. I don't want to hate on it too much because, like, granted, if they're really damn good at it. I mean,
Yeah.
they set up very well. It's not like they just like play iso ball and they just hit step backs like constantly. Like, I do kind of appreciate the way that they at least set up like Al Horford for his open threes, or Porzingis for his open threes, or Pritchard for his open threes. Like, I'm not gonna say the industry plant's name because I'm so sick of him, but we've done a good job of not talking about Mr. White. So I have an appreciation and an understanding for why Boston plays the way that they do. Especially knowing that they can be versatile too with a guy like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who can create their own shots for themselves and others as well. So I don't want to just limit them to that kind of a team, even though they do shoot a million threes a game. But they're also one of the better defensive teams in the NBA as well. I think they're top 5 in NBA defensive rating right now. They're a good team. I understand Isaiah taking a shot at it. And I understand, some players and some viewers kind of being tired of that. Like, that kind of goes back to what JB was talking about with how we're bringing something good to the team, because we're not just the team that shoots a million threes a game. Even if, I think Beasley obviously takes a high volume and Tim Hardaway takes a high volume, but they don't rely on that. Boston lives and they kind of die by that. We saw that in the last game they played against the Pistons. So um, it can be a little tiring to watch as a fan. I definitely understand that. It serves to see something a little bit different. So I give the Pistons credit for being able to be different. I'm not mad at Isaiah for calling it out. It's some more detail that maybe needs to be provided to who they really are, but shout out to them for being able to, stamp the Pistons identity as well. But yeah, that was I definitely saw that on NBA team. That was a interesting shot they threw at him.
If you guys haven't seen the video, I have it posted on my Twitter because Isaiah said that with his chest. Like he's so proud of this team. I know in previous years he was really disappointed the standard of this team, like going into the season, was like maybe winning like 28 games. He's like, man, the standard when I was playing was championship or bust.
Mm-hmm.
Is like the standard is just like really lowered, and I think when you watch this team, there's a lot of resemblance to previous Detroit Pistons championship rosters. Like I feel like so many old school players like love a beef stew, like a Rick Mahorn, like a Bill Laimbeer, because Isaiah Stewart kind of has like that throwback game. You have gritty defenders like Isiah Thompson and Ron Holland who are just so much fun in transition and defensively. They can do so many things. And Cade Cunningham, to me, I feel like is such a old school player, and I'm surprised more older generation players aren't kind of gravitating towards him because he's not a follow baiter. He's not someone that tries to sell contact. He's not a player like a Jalen Brunson or a Trey Young, or we even seen Donovan Mitchell doing it last night,
Yeah.
where he hears the whistle and he kind of just flails his body into the defender. Like the team, how it's constructed, has a lot of old school vibes, and I think that's why Isaiah likes it so much. Saying like they play hard, they play gritty, they just play the right way, and I think that's why he's so proud of this team. And the Boston thing, I could see why, because like I watched that game where they almost hoisted up 73s and they still lost the game.
Hmm.
It was honestly crazy. Like, I think Boston is really good. And I think that's where the Pistons are trying to be. They're trying to, be with the Clevelands, the New Yorks, and the Bostons, which I kind of think New York's a little fraudulent to me.
Hmm.
But I love that he just kind of took a little shot at the Celtics because like I need those Pistons Celtic rivalries back. I don't know about you.
It's really interesting of how the identity of these winning Piston teams resemble each other so much. Like you said, relying on defense with the bad boys, having that dynamic backcourt, and then a front court that was willing to do all the dirty work at all times. You saw the same thing with the going to work guys. Chauncey and Rip, the front court that was all time and unbelievable depth to go behind it as well. The exact same thing, and you're seeing that now with this Piston team as well. I remember when Cade had his rookie year and Isiah interviewed him on NBA TV, and they talked about rookie of the year. You could tell like, hey, he's very professional. He's not going to crash out anytime soon like that. But you could tell like he was a little bothered by it, and you could tell that Isiah felt the same thing because in his rookie season, the exact same thing happened. He was clearly the best player out of his class, but winning impact on winning is what robbed him of the award. So yeah, these guys see a lot of themselves in this young team, and you can tell that they had the exact same feeling for the going to work guys. Like when they were able to have the gentleman sweep on Shaq's Lakers, like it clearly resonated with them because they were disturbing the NBA the same way during the Bad Boys era when they were keeping Jordan on ice and they were beating the Lakers then and beating all the other contenders. So like I think that's the coolest part about the Pistons when they see this success outside of maybe like the Blake Griffin brief era, but like the championship contenders who really had a foundation set that was sustainable for years, they all have the same kind of championship DNA. Even the all-time great coaching, because I think JB will be stamped as that in soon enough time. Obviously, rest in peace, Chuck Daly, Larry Brown, and I feel like JB is kind of cut from that same cloth. He maybe has a better reputation with younger players than Larry Brown does, but I just think it's very interesting to see how their timelines and the similarities rely with one another with all three of these teams now at this point.
Yeah, I've had like some older viewers point out that like this team reminds them of the early bad boy days where they were finding out how to win and they had the pieces. Um, and they were having success. I know I obviously wasn't born during the bad boy era, but I'm looking at this team and they remind me of the early 2000 Pistons where
Mhm.
they won 30 games and they kind of just surprised everyone and won 50 like the next season. Like that's where I kind of see this team. Like I know I've talked to some like non-Pistons fans. Obviously, they're like, yeah, like 40 wins. Like we're not really sure like how serious you guys are because they looked at the record of the Pistons. I think NBA University put it out. Like the Pistons had like a sub 500 record against teams that have over a 500 record. I think it was like 9-20, but I thought the Cavs game last night was a very good indication of what this team is and what trend they're actually like going towards
Mhm.
because JB is like next man up mentality. I'm sorry if that was that team last year, they would have lost by 30, 45 points easily.
No question.
The fight in this team and just the togetherness, like when you mentioned it several times when Beef Stew crossed up Evan Mobley, dude, Lindy Waters almost went like 10 rows. Like he jumped out of the freaking frame and Cade was going crazy. The calf looks fine to me. Like that whole bench was going nuts. Like you can just tell like the chemistry on and off the court is at an all-time high. And these guys like actually like each other. They're not like teams like the Phoenix Suns where like they just play basketball and they don't hang out with each other outside of like practice or playing games. Like these guys actually play video games together. I saw like a video earlier this year of Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley golfing in Florida, just like fucking around. Like you
Yeah.
can just tell, like this team and the vibes and the culture that JB has kind of just created. Like all these guys want to play for him. And I think that's why they've had so much success this season.